Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has been leading a spirited fight against drug abuse, especially the sale of illicit brew in the Mount Kenya region, where scores have perished. The abuse of drugs has led to many endangering their lives, engaging in gangs and robbery, among other crimes associated with drugs. Antonio Sundwa reports.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has been leading a spirited fight against drug abuse, especially the sale of illicit brew in the Mount Kenya region, where scores have perished.
President William Ruto, who chairs the National Security Council, has given very clear and unequivocal instructions to us that the matter of drug and substance abuse has reached alarming proportions and is no longer a social issue but a serious threat to our national security. The government has therefore decided that this matter will be dealt with as an existential threat to the very existence of our republic, because of what poison disguised as alcohol has done to our people.
The abuse of drugs has led to many endangering their lives, engaging in gangs and robbery, among other crimes associated with drugs.
Okay, when we talk of admitting a client into a facility, before even one is brought to the facility, their loved ones, be it parents, guardians, or even siblings, or even friends, they've already started seeing the effects of addiction in this person's life. So the psychosocial effects of addiction, they've really come into play, and these people feel and believe that this person cannot be able to continue living that way outside there. We may talk of job losses, we may talk of absenteeism, we may talk of people being interdicted, we may talk of accidents, we may talk of fights, we may talk of dysfunctional families, we may talk of so many things that come into play before even one is brought for admission.
The Deputy President's spirit has gone down to many, as more Kenyans now engage in different activities to make sure they curb and help those who have been affected by drug addiction, preventing many from entering the same.
So when one is brought to the facility, we'll do an assessment, and the assessment will reveal or will indicate if this person requires the treatment, if this person, the time frame that will be involved in the treatment process for this individual. We have two programs. We have a 3-month program for treating alcoholism, and people are just getting to these other substances, hard drugs. And then we have a 6-month program for people abusing hard drugs, heroin, cocaine, bang, and who may also have other underlying conditions. People may have schizophrenia, they may have, they may be bipolar, they may have anxiety disorders, mental issues, all these things. And they will also require psychiatric treatment in addition to psychotherapy, psychoeducation, and other methods that are used to ensure that this person gains enough tools and sense of direction before they are discharged.
Mr. Ben Mumo, a resident at Webuye town in Bungoma County, narrates on how his journey was in drug addiction, something that led him to, after healing from addiction, set a rehabilitation center with a mission and a vision of rekindling people's life.
So, Promises Treatment Center is a facility that aims at helping people with substance use disorders to enable them overcome the challenges that come with addiction, and so that they can be able to regain their sense of responsibility, their standing in society. They can be able to live in a normal way like other people. So addiction being a broad topic and a problem for so many people, it's usually accompanied by other underlying conditions which usually make one's life outside there not a rosy one, and it affects relationships. One lacks their sense of responsibility, the peace, that the inner peace that there's so much desire, and it also affects one's relationship with God to such an extent whereby they feel like they're loners. They start believing that no one in this world loves them. But people can be able to change. People can overcome their addictions and start living well again. But this requires a lot of concerted effort from so many areas. One of which is the desire of the addict to overcome that problem. The willingness to change helps one to start changing the way they perceive things around them, the way they perceive themselves, the way they perceive their relationships with people and also with God. Ultimately, they will acquire a new way of living. So addiction itself, if at all we talk of recovery, recovery encompasses a lot of things that enables one to overcome all these things that are present in addiction, and they acquire a new lifestyle.
Momo has been on the forefront of assisting addicts with moral lessons at the Rehabilitation Center, going a step further to also teach on the effects of addiction in schools.
The addiction tells, what does it tell you? It tells us that we move from a certain area moving up. Yes. So it's a process.
First and foremost, like I've said, I'm also a recovering alcoholic, so I went through the same problem. And most of the people outside here don't know that they have a problem when they're in active addiction. So even me, when I was going for rehab, I did not know that I had a problem. My aim was just to go there and go through the period, come out and continue with my lifestyle. My aim was just to play around with my parent minds. When we talk about addiction, it really affects families. And they usually say that addiction is a family disease. Being a family disease, it affects anyone who comes into direct contact with the addict, to such an extent that they cannot be able to live well with the other family members. So by helping an addict, you're also helping a generation, you're also helping a family, you're also helping the society to curb other behaviors that come as a result of addiction, like stealing, selling of items, manipulation, lying, all these things. By helping one, you are helping a society overcome these vices.
In the fight of drug abuse and the mission of changing lives, he urges Kenyans to be positive to the addicts, give them a moral shoulder to lean on, and avoid stigmatization, stating that this could help grow a strong moral society.
Going back doesn't mean one doesn't have the ability or the power to overcome their addictions because of other factors that come into play, especially when one is outside there after discharge. And we usually say that any person has the ability to change. If the right environment, the right tools are put into place, one can be able to change. As being human beings and being born with and being endowed with so many possibilities by God, we can be able to overcome anything that comes our way. We only need to have the desire, the willpower, and we put God into the picture, like I always say, that if God is there, nothing will go wrong.
Antonio Sundwa, Maisha Prime, Maisha TV.
But if you continue believing those beliefs that you are better than your brother, are you better? You are lying to yourself.